y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamika and this is Check the Rhymes. I am super excited that you're here. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all make sure you hit the subscribe button, check me out at my media partner sweet929.tv, and download the Zonify app and check me out over there. You can just type in Check the Rhymes under the search and content will pop up. So now that we got all that business out of the way, let's get into today's show. I am speaking with the author of the young adult romance novel, A Show for Two. So listen, y'all, this is a perfect gift for the young adult in your life. There's a lot of life lessons in here that you'll definitely want to, you might even want to read it. Shoot, I read it. It was really good. It's a really great read. It's a pretty thick book. But anyway, you can pick that book up anywhere that books are sold. Again, it's called A Show for Two. The author, Tashie Bhuiyan, is here to talk about the novel. So stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss today's show. Hi, Tashie. Welcome to Check the Rhymes. How are you?
I'm good. I was just saying how cool your last name is. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. So I had to use it for a show name because you can't let something like that just kind of slip away, right?
Absolutely. Like, that is star quality.
Thank you. Well, listen, I love this book, A Show for Two. I could not put it down. And now I'm jealous because, well, I don't want to give it away. I want you to tell everybody what the book is about, but I wish I had had this high school experience.
Yeah, so A Show for Two follows the main character, Mina Rahman, who's an aspiring screenwriter. She's in high school, and as she's going about her, mundane life, she somehow finds out that at her school there is an undercover celebrity learning about his next film at American high school. And this is inspired by when, during my senior year of high school, we found out that Tom Holland was at our school.
Not the Spider-Man. Wow.
The Spider-Man. But the funny thing was that he wasn't the Spider-Man yet. Like, he was there to learn how to act like he was in an American high school. So, like, he wasn't even Spider-Man. Like, he was about to be Spider-Man, if you will.
That is so crazy. So how did everybody, like, did you guys, was it something that everybody's like, oh, that's Tom Holland, or were you kind of like, we know he's somebody, but we aren't sure who it is?
Oh my God. So we were all very suspicious because our school has like a very strict like enrollment process, and it's just not possible senior year. So we were like, this doesn't make any sense. But he was like, he put on an American accent. He was like, my name is Ben. We were like, who is this guy? But then somebody like recognized him and asked him like in the bathroom, they're like, are you Tom Holland? And he was like, nah, man, I'm not Tom Holland. And they were like, yo, you look exactly like Tom Holland. He was like, no, man, you got the wrong guy. And they pulled up his Instagram and they were like, you look exactly like him. And he was like, I don't know who that is. And afterwards,
oh, how funny. That's hilarious. So did he date anybody at the high school? Like,
no.
No.
Oh, dang.
What if that had been crazy? But no. He was there for a short time. Unlike Emmett is there for quite a bit, but Tom Holland was there for like quite a short time, just like, having a little fun, and then he left and we all missed him.
So what made you, like, what was the process of coming up with the idea for the book? Because obviously it was inspired, but were you kind of like, you know what, I want to spin this in my own way and tell the story that I don't know if it's something you just kind of wish had happened in a way, or if it was just something that you're like, wouldn't it be cool if this happened this way?
Yeah, it was definitely like the latter, where I remember when he was at the school, I remember thinking like, this would be a dope book idea. Like, this would be so cool, but also like so unrealistic, but also how unrealistic if Tom Holland is literally at our school right now. Like, I don't know if I could say things are unrealistic anymore. So it was just kind of, percolating in the back of my head. And when I was actually writing books and I got my book deal, I was like, maybe it's time to finally pull that idea out. And it's really funny because the character Emmett, who's, inspired by Tom Holland, is nothing like Tom Holland. Like, he's so different. And that was also part of my intention, because I was like, even though this is inspired by, frankly, one of the coolest things ever, I didn't want it to be like actually Tom Holland. I wanted it to be something that kind of subverts things. And he's the character Emmett is like half Asian as well. And like, you know, I think though that they would be really good friends.
I really love that the diversity in the book, because when I got the book, I was like, is this going to be the typical, like, you know, the characters? But no, I was pleasantly surprised at the diversity, and I learned some things as well, like about like culturally, I learned a lot. So
yeah.
Are you hoping that readers will pick up on that as well?
Yeah, I really hope so. When I was younger reading YA, like, I never had books like this. Like, for me, you know, it's the same kind of story over and over and over, which is like fun, but I feel like having this now where you can like see yourself in a book, like you can pick it up and be like, this person looks like me, talks like me, has a life similar to mine, is so different and makes you feel so seen. And that's always my goal.
Well, one of the things that really resonated with me, and I'm sure it will resonate with a lot of young adults reading this as well, is trying to live up to your parents' idea of success. You know, your parents have this goal and plan for your life, and you're like, well, that's not what I want to do. I'd rather go, I don't know, surf all day or something, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give readers, you know, that are dealing with something similar? Like Mina, she's got these amazing goals, but her parents are like, no.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I think in those situations, it's really hard because the people who are meant to support you are your family. And to not have that support is like really rough. So I think the best thing you can really do in situations like that is find like a really good group of friends, you know, people who will love you like family and support you and help you and like make your dreams possible in whatever way they can, even if it's not by a lot. I feel like even the tiniest bit of support and love and help goes a long way.
Absolutely. I also noticed that Mina is almost in this like survival mode, or it's like this fight or flight response all throughout the book. And so I wonder, like, were those some of your own experiences that you injected into the character?
Yeah, for sure. I love that you said that because that was definitely my intention too. Like writing it was like having Mina in survival mode. And that's definitely something that I've experienced. And so many people I know have also experienced, where it's just like, you just need to get through the day. You just need to find a way to make it through while also not losing sight of yourself and your dreams. And as someone who's been through that, I feel like it was important to me to also write that into the story so that other, you know, people can read, especially like young, like girls, people of color, stuff like that. Like, I feel like for them, it's like really important to be able to like see something like that and like, you know, find a little bit of hope in it.
Absolutely. So I was reading your bio and one thing stood out to me, and I have to ask this as the last question. What is your favorite Chipotle order? Because I love Chipotle, and I was like, oh yes,
oh my
Chipotle.
God. Yes, it was. I love Chipotle so much it had to go in the bio. Oh my God. I recently have tried a steak bowl, and they're so good. I used to always get a chicken burrito bowl, but now I'm like, it's kind of hip. Like, this is like high key. Like, this is good.
I haven't tried the steak bowl. I just tried the new I forgot the name of the chicken, but I just tried that.
It's
and I was like,
asado.
Yeah, I was like, this is good.
Yeah, I was like, all right. Like, I see what we're doing here.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you about A Show for Two. Thank you, Tashie, so much for joining me on Check the Rhymes. And people can pick up this book like anywhere books are sold, right?
Yes, anywhere books are sold.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining me today on Check the Rhymes, and I hope you have an amazing day.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.